Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Court of Swords. It's episode 90 something. I don't know. 93. What are we on, Adam? You usually know. 2. We're 2,
I think
4, 3.
My notes say 92. So
Okay. All right. 92 it is. It might not be 92 though, but it might be. Anyways. How's it going? Did everyone vote? Adam, did you go and vote? Did you cross the country lines and somehow go and vote today?
somehow, yeah, I drove to Bellingham and I secretly voted. I'm a secret voting Canadian.
Nice. What's your United States name? What's your name?
Mike Truck. That's my name, Mike Truck. Oh, Mike Truck from Bellingham, Washington.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Nice.
That's my name.
Well, we know who you voted for, Mike Truck, with a name like that. We'll profile that all night. It'll be easy.
Listen, Mike Truck always votes third party. All right. Okay. Mike Truck believes in the independence.
You just write your name. Process. You just write Truck.
That's right. M. Truck for president. President Truck. Nice. 2028.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Well done,
Mike Truck.
Well done.
The only candidate built for tough.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many easy campaign lines. It'd be the easiest. The easiest one.
If you ever need a fake American name, there's this thing going around. So there was a Japanese baseball game, a Super Nintendo game, I think, and a Japanese game designer had to make up a bunch of American sounding names.
Okay.
Mike Truck is on that list, as are Willie Dustis, Sleeve McDykel, Daryl Archideld.
Those are good.
Yeah. My favorite one though is without a question. My favorite one is Bobson Dugnut. Bobson Dugnut. Yep. Yeah. Raul Chamberlain.
I like it.
Mike Cernandez. They're all great. They're all really good names. So if you ever need fake American
Those last
names,
two sound like baseball players.
Yeah.
It's a baseball game. Exactly. They did a great job. It's a Japanese baseball game from the 90s.
I didn't know it was a baseball game.
So you could play as Mike Truck, Dwigged Rortugal. Yeah. It's great.
Wait, what was that? Dwig Rotorol?
Dwigged Rortugal. So it's Dwight without the H and Dwight, Portugal. Yeah, it's Dwight Portugal, but it's Dwigged Rortugal.
Interesting.
And that's like 8th or 9th name on the list. Yeah.
Good name. Good name. Anyways, it's been a while since we've played. The last episode was an absolute shit show. But we'll get to that.
Come on.
It was.
It was a total success for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're doing great. Max has no idea what's happening. He's wondering why Dan's character has question marks next to it. Yeah, we'll get to all that in a bit. First, we're just going to find out what everyone's been up to and catch up. We're going to go in reverse order. Adam, what have you been up to? How's it going? What's up? I see you're wearing a hat. Also, Zeke, you left that hat in my room at TwitchCon, so I have your hat of that same make.
Oh, good.
But I won't send it to you.
Yeah.
So
you can pick it up at the next live show.
You can get it the next live show.
It's a threat. I have your hat.
Yeah, I've got it captive.
So you know.
Just so you know.
Yeah, no, I've been playing Magic Arena in my off time, of which there hasn't been much. It was my birthday recently, so I played the usual. Every birthday I do a Mega Man game. I think we're out of good Mega Man games though. I think I've run out because I played Mega Man 4, and it's not that good.
You can
so
probably
I think I'm gonna have to branch out
and just.
Yeah, I think I need to pick a new series. Yeah, we did Mega Man X, and we did 2 and 3 and 4, and 4 was bad. So I think maybe I'll start doing Castlevania games next year.
Ooh, those get bad really fast too.
Yeah, right. One is good. 2 is fucking terrible. 3 is awesome, and then it gets all murky after that.
Which one is Rondo of Blood or whatever? Is that 2?
That's either Rondo of Blood is a DS one, I think.
I know that one's really difficult, like unbelievably fucking stupid difficult. So
it's a PlayStation. It's a PlayStation one. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the hard one.
Yeah. And Super Nintendo. Yeah. Obviously Symphony of the Night would be a good one to play, but there are a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I did that, and I played a little bit of Final Fantasy Tactics, which I haven't played since. Geez, it's been like 12 years. Probably since the last time I played that. It's fun. There's a lot more grinding than I remember, but it's a pretty cool game. The writing is amazing for it, especially in the updated ROM, the version of it that came out in 2007. They redid the whole script, so it isn't this awkward. We have one pass at localizing it, and we're just gonna leave it. So characters maybe change their name halfway through the game. But it was cool to go back and do that. But I've just been doing RPG stuff since we got back from TwitchCon.
Cool.
Doing all this business. Yeah. Yeah, that and playing Magic. I cannot stop fucking playing Magic.
Yeah, you're still addicted to the Magic stuff?
Yeah, dude. I play it like crazy. And it's just like with Hearthstone or like any of these games where you can pick it up and like throw down a couple of matches. Like I'll play 20 minutes when I'm just like at my computer. Like I'll start a video rendering and then I'll be like, cool, I'm just gonna play a game of Magic. Then I'll go back and do another video and like just play a few games here and there. Yeah, it's good though. It's good. The meta is so fast now that like decks that I was killing with last week now are like terrible. Like they're just garbage. Like everybody has built to destroy them. So it's like I have to constantly adapt.
Are you just screwed?
I guess yeah, you kind of are. Like for me, like I built up a pretty decent like collection of cards, and so when I need to shift, it's usually not too much effort to do that. But like, yeah, it's tough because you're like, yeah, this deck rules, and you play it for a week, and then everybody realizes that it rules. They all start playing it. They kick the shit out of everybody, and then everybody's like, okay, cool, we need to counter that deck. And so you can watch the shift. So the next week, it's like, cool, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna win again, and you just get slaughtered. And you're like, wait, did they just build this deck to destroy me? And you're like, yep, they did. That's how the meta works. So
sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like I like competitive and like that kind of thing. Like adjusting to the meta it actually is fun for me. Like I quite enjoy that. But I think for most players, the stuff that'll get them playing or keep them playing is the events, right? They have weekly, the drafts change what sets they use. There are like weekend events and stuff. So I think it's like brawls for Hearthstone. That'll keep people coming back.
Yeah. Is your life basically over if that comes to mobile? Are you just done? If there's a Magic the Gathering on your phone or your iPad or something like that?
Yeah. Like it's easy enough for me to sit down at my computer or play a game on my laptop, but like to translate that to being like I have my phone on me all the damn time. So like yeah. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It'll replace just like casually looking at Twitter. I'll just be like, I'm just gonna play some Magic. But yeah, and I played the one of the days of the Fallout 76 beta, and I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I heard that's it's great. I heard it's a fantastic game.
Like I like Fallout. I care a lot about the universe. I think it's cool, but like Fallout 76 seems boring and dumb. And I realize like I'm tired of Fallout. Like I just don't care about this like fake 50s post-apocalypse. Like it's all the same. Like just they pick a different state and they're like, here you go. It's the same hackneyed shit again. But this game has no NPCs and no real story. And it uses my least favorite thing in video games to tell what little story it has, which is audio logs, which I never fucking listen to. So like that's the whole game.
I thought you were going to say open mics is how they tell the story in that game of everyone's life going on
so
all the time.
This is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing that's weird about this game is, and you can tell that they've like, if I were a dev at Bethesda, I would be very concerned because it's like you made this whole multiplayer game. The whole point of the game is multiplayer, and literally everyone who plays it is like, I don't ever want to play with anybody I don't know. How do I turn off the voice? I hate the multiplayer in this. And you're like, that's the game. Like, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not about it.
We've got two big Fallout fans here, in Max and Dan. So I'm curious your quick 2 or 3 sentences on Fallout 76. I think Max is into it because he's got friends. Dan's like everyone else. We don't have friends. He wants to experience the game by himself. So two alternate views here.
Max has got friends.
Yeah. Well, no. So this is the thing, Max. Like, I think that this kind of game could be successful as a platform for streamers to tell like fun, like it's like we talked about this before, like the GTA RP thing. Like the game is giving you nothing except a universe to fuck around in, and you're making it fun for your audience with your friends. But like for a non-streamer, I just don't see the value in the game at all.
Yeah, you'd have to be a pretty diehard Fallout fan to want to go through there, because there is story there, and if you do want to just like play it by yourself and go through and read everything and just get more, of Fallout, and yeah, if you don't mind the audio logs, I don't mind the audio logs too much until they won't shut the fuck up, and I'm just trying to hear everybody else and what else is going on, and it's just
dude, you gotta listen for 8 straight minutes.
Dying. I'm like trying to figure out where my friend.
So fucking long too.
Yeah, it's like I'm the overseer. And wow, it was a rough day. Let me tell you. What?
Hey Max, are you gonna give me the thing? Are you gonna give me that thing, Max? What are you? Why don't you listen to me, Max?
I can't hear the fucking overseer.
You're ruining my immersion. Come on.
Yeah, you pick up an
Anyways,
audio log and they're like, it was the best
sunny
of
day
times.
today.
It was the worst of times. And then it goes on. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Just lay off, Dickens. Just lay the fuck off. But that's the thing is they've limited themselves. They've limited themselves to one vector of storytelling. And that's it. That's all you get is you get this one thing. And if you don't like listening to audio logs,
Yeah.
It would.
bad.
It boggles my mind, and maybe it's in the game, and I just haven't figured it out. But I feel like I probably would know about it at this point. It boggles my mind that they would add so many audio logs in there, and not and make it a multiplayer game. So you're playing with friends. That's the idea. And not give you a quick ability to stop the fucking log if you wanted to.
Just to pause it or something?
no.
Just to press a button, press and hold this button, or do this to stop the log, and then you can pick it back up later. No, it just keeps playing. It doesn't give a shit. There's probably a way to stop it if I go into my Pip-Boy menu and whatever and go in there and click it. But who wants to fucking do that every single time you have an audio log playing?
Yeah.
That would require a modern engine.
Yeah, you guys haven't even mentioned the fact that movement's tied to FPS. That's pretty cool. Bump your FPS or bump your resolution to 720p and go at like Mach 10, just running around the goddamn wasteland.
To be able to play it, the very first thing I had to do was dig out an INI file and change something in there. Like you can't unlock the frame rate or change the frame rate in the game, so you have to find the file and manually edit it.
Nice.
To be able to play. Like it was going at like 10 FPS, and then I fixed it by It's good. PC gaming.
Well,
Works every time.
I mean, it's Bethesda. We kind of all expected that. Plus, Blizzard kind of saved them and announced a Diablo mobile game, so they don't have to worry about bad press because Blizzard's just taken all of it the past week. And they're just forgetting about, that 76 game comes out pretty soon. So,
I've had fun with it, but again, like you said, it's heavily because I have friends to play it with and that are kind of going around and doing stuff, and it's fun. It's fun to explore, whatever. I've told people, I'm like, if you're looking for Fallout 5, this isn't it. It's something else. You gotta look at what I'm playing right here, and if this seems interesting to you, and maybe you think you have some friends to play with, great. Or if you think you want to just go through and solo that shit and read everything because you're just like massively about Fallout, awesome. Maybe you'll like it. For everybody else, I don't know. I'm enjoying it just because of my particular experience, with it.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of quests and shit to do. So if you like grinding quests and doing all that kind of stuff, there is a lot of it, even for just the beta that we were playing.
I wouldn't call them quests so much as like tasks. Like chores. Like there's a quest implies to me that you like there's a purpose to it, but most of the events in Fallout seem to be like, go here, collect these so you can build this thing. Okay, go here, collect these, build this thing. And you're like, oh, okay, all right.
There's some NPCs, they're all
Go to the
robots.
Go to the grocery store. Go to the grocery store. Pick me up some milk. Come on back. Make me a milkshake. Oh, don't have any strawberries. Go on down to the store. Pick me up some strawberries. Come on back. Make me a milkshake. And it's just like, no, you're not even here. You're a voice on the radio. I'm making this milkshake for nobody.
How long did you play it?
Like 6 hours.
Okay.
That's a decent amount of time.
Enough to get out of the obvious tutorial and into the stuff that was like, we're not teaching you anything. Now we're just making you do stuff.
Yeah. There are NPCs you interact with, but they're all robots, basically. They're all just robots.
Yes.
And you occasionally will run into an NPC that's like a traitor, which it's either like a fucking super mutant.
Yeah.
Or a robot. It's like I'm trade bot. Do you want to trade?
I guess the reason for that was to make it feel like the people are the only people, right? Like the people you're playing with are the only humans.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, that's Fallout 76. Dan,
I'll
your
play that.
quick thoughts on it? You're not a super huge fan from what I can tell.
Mute. The way I play it is I mute everyone. I stay away from other people on the map. I just solo everything.
Yeah. And how was
And
that?
someone will come by.
Fair.
Someone will come by once in a while and start shooting at me again and again. And because the damage reduction, they're like, I don't react at all. They just waste ammo and they're like, okay, this isn't fun. And then they eventually walk away.
They can't unless you shoot back at them, right? They don't actually do damage, really. It's like, like taking barely anything.
It's like I got a stem pack. When I get down to 20%, I'll just pop it. And they have to waste so much ammo on you. They just get.
Oh yeah, PvP is hilarious. Like if you don't shoot back, pacifists are gods in that game. Like you are invincible.
Nice.
which is weird. You could just run away forever.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That's a little weird. Werp. I don't know what I'm saying. That's Fallout 76. Yeah, I'm just making duck noises right now.
That's JP's secret producer side for time to move on. Warp.
No, I actually just have a duck over there that I'm communicating with who now pushes the buttons. So he's trying to get his flipper on the giant thing to move to the next topic. Yeah, that's what's going on. Dan, fix the duck.
Fix the light.
Messed up Dan's green screen. What are you doing? Jesus.
This office has motion sensor lights, and if I don't move once in a while, it'll turn off.
Fucking technology, man. Jesus.
Yeah, my
Stay
monitors are in front of the
perfectly
sensor.
still, and the building can't see you.
Wow.
He's pulling a Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
Yeah,
I'm moving so imperceptibly slowly.
exactly.
They won't be able to see me.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Warp.
Yeah. Dan, what have you been up to the past week? I saw you went and saw a bunch of movies. Let's do some Dan movie reviews.
Ooh, I like
Yeah, there's a theater nearby where they serve you dinner at your
It's
seat
the greatest.
while
The
you're
best.
watching a movie, which is the best shit ever.
It's the best.
Like so, like normally you at a restaurant you have to sit there and wait for your food, but you're watching a movie, so you don't even realize that just food pops in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. It was very
Okay.
good.
It was?
Huh. Yeah, if you like if you like Queen's music, it's a really entertaining movie about Queen and their formation and Freddie Mercury and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I saw A Star Is Born, A Star Is Made or Star Is Born,
Star Is
with
Born.
Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and that was a really good movie.
I heard it's a little
Very, very, very
sad. Can you confirm or deny?
It's definitely a drama. It's a
Okay.
drama.
Okay.
So it's they got to do the drama tropes, but things happen. So they're sad, and some are happy, and so you have a roller coaster there.
I have a great anecdotal story about that. I was getting my hair cut, and the person that was in front of me while I was waiting was, let's say, an elderly person. They're like, I love that Bradley Cooper, but I'm just not sure about that Lady Gaga. She seems a little odd to me. So I don't think I'm going to go see it. And that's the anecdote. I thought that was funny in the Midwest.
She was a really good
Old people.
actress. I was surprised. She was very good in the movie.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that was Lady Gaga, I wouldn't assume it was, because she has like almost no makeup on. It's just her without all the getup, and she's very good at acting and of
What are
course
you
singing.
saying, Dan? That's her real self, okay?
Whoa.
She doesn't wear makeup.
I mean, the thing is though, of course she's a good actor because her whole career is her acting. Like Lady Gaga is an act; it's a character that she's playing. So yeah, she's got lots and lots of practice pretending. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Yep. The 5'2" documentary was really good too.
Is that on Netflix? I've heard about that, but I never knew where to watch it. It's on Netflix? Okay.
No, it's really cool to see like her behind the scenes and like her being herself and not being her stage persona and that kind of shit. And also, she's won an acting award like from American Horror Story. Like she won like a
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was in
an
it.
Emmy.
She got
right?
an Emmy for that? I didn't realize that.
I think so.
Jesus. I had no idea. Did
Dope.
you see any good previews,
Lady
Dan?
Gaga.
Anything coming up?
Yeah, the one with the M. Night Shyamalan trilogy, the third one's coming out.
Oh,
Glass.
Glass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one looked really good. Has all the two previous guys, and now Samuel Jackson as another I guess anti-hero villain. I don't know what they're considered.
Yeah.
In the movie, it looked really good. There's a couple other ones. There's this one I saw yesterday when I saw the movie about this girl robot who's like, gotta have to look up the name of it, but
It's Battle Angel Alita.
Yes, that one.
Oh, right.
It's got it's got the bad guy from Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
I guess he's more than just the bad guy from that Tarantino movie now. He's been in a bunch of shit. But yeah, it's based on the manga and the anime, and it was gonna come out earlier, but they redid a bunch of the effects so she didn't look quite as creepy. Because she used to have she still looks like a weird anime character, but she used to have giant
Oh, they
terrifying
fixed her
eyeballs
eyes?
they didn't. I wouldn't say they fixed it, but they adjusted it from the test footage. So there was some test footage where they were like, "What do you think?" And people were like, "No, this is horrifying. Change it." And they're like, "Okay, cool. The movie's gonna take another 2 or 3 months to come out, but we're gonna fix some stuff." So they've changed some of that. She's less horrifying, but she's still like, I mean, she's supposed to look uncanny valley. She's not a person. She's a robot.
She's got some big ass eyes still. I was like, they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Effects in that were look freaking crazy and like amazing. I've never heard of that series, but I just wanted to see it because it's just like the effects look so fucking awesome in that. You can tell it's a super film.
Does that come out this
Well,
winter? When does that launch?
Soon. They
Can you
they pushed
Google
it back.
for me because I don't want to Google. Just Google it for me and let me know.
February. It was supposed to
okay.
be. It was supposed to be Christmas, but it's February now. Yeah, it's interesting. They're remaking all these like old 80s and 90s like anime, right? Like we had Ghost in the Shell, and then this. And when they announced that they're gonna do an Akira live action Akira, I will just die of horror because please don't. But they're gonna.
Oh, they'll probably do that for
but
sure. Yeah.
They definitely will. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. But yeah, Alita looks better than it looked when they first showed it off, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
And then I've been lost in Red Dead 2 for like a week.
Man, I wish I had your liking for that game. I can't get into it. I've tried 3 or 4 times now. I think
Actually, that doesn't surprise me. I think it's too slow for you.
Is that what you just said, Dan, as well? That it's too slow for me?
Yep.
Okay.
A little too slow.
I think it is. I also think that I just don't give a fuck about the Wild West. I think I'm just over that.
Did you love the first game?
No.
That makes sense.
You build a real attachment to the characters in the first game if you're a big fan of the first game.
That makes
half
sense.
of the
Did you
got it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Wild West like trailery thing that Max made? It's really cool.
I did.
Max, I'm gonna call you out for making a cool thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Max cut a bunch of scenes from like famous Wild West movies and did a little voiceover and talked about the game, and I thought it was super cool. And I said, even though like I'm the same as you, JP. I don't the Wild West stuff. I'm just like, it's very low on my list of genres. But I watched that trailer and I was like, all right, like it seems cool. Max made it seem kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Erin's she's like super into it. For like single player games, she doesn't really play that many, but she's like all about Red Dead. She was telling me how like some bear attacked her last night and all the shit that she had to do to like overcome the bear. And I'm like, that's great. I'm happy. I'm glad you're liking the game. I'm just bored of hearing the story already. So I can't even play the game and enjoy it.
This game has really good hunting where you just like spend hours hunting animals in the wilderness. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I did like the legendary bear hunt that you can do with Hosea or whatever really early on, and I'm sure it gets a little bit more complex after that, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those games where I wish I liked because it seems everyone that's like really into it, or even I feel like it's so split. Like you either think that's the greatest game of all time, or it's like, all right, it's a game that exists. So I wish I was in that other camp, but I just can't get into it. So that's Red Dead for me, and I guess everyone else. Zeke, you haven't touched it, right? You've been doing Indie Week, so you haven't touched it at all. Yeah.
No, I'll probably end up playing like the chunk of games that the game of the year contenders.
Yeah.
In late November, early December. Like I'm going to do like a couple of weeks where I play like Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption. Like there's quite a few of them out there that I haven't even touched yet because like business wise, I kind of have to wait to play them on stream.
Sure. Yeah. The game started. Red Dead at least is starting to drop in viewership. I think a little bit on Twitch the past couple of days. So might be time to jump into it in terms of all the big guys moving on. They're finally finishing up. Dan, how long did it take you for that? By the way, like 100+ hours, easy.
Oh God. 12 hours a day, like 10 days in a row. Yeah, like at least 100+ hours.
Jesus,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. You 100%
the epilogue, which is I didn't 100% all the side stuff. I did all the story missions and a bunch of as many side quests as I could do, and that was about 100+ hours. And there's an epilogue after you beat the main story. That's about 8 hours longer. So you beat the main story. There's another epilogue. It's another 8 hours after that. It's a long
Sounds like a JRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's long, but it's really good, and there's only like one filler mission part,
Huh.
which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I wish maybe I'll try it offline because that's the other thing that I've heard too. A lot of people that play that game, they play it offline and just like turn off all the lights. They don't turn the camera. They just like fully immerse themselves in it. It's much more fun because you're not having to stream the game. You're just playing the game.
Yeah.
So
That's more or less how I've been playing it. The first time I streamed it, I had like camera on, camera off. It switches back and forth between like cinematic stuff a lot. So I was like, I just want to have the camera off. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And chat ended up preferring it that way. And I was like, you guys mind if the camera's off? Because I feel like it's just going to be better. Like the game itself is enough there. I don't need to be having my face right here for stuff.
I prefer when you have your camera off too. JP, can we take care of that?
Just waiting for you to say it. See it all over your face.
I could hear you. I could hear you waiting to let me interject. Like I could hear you changing the way you were talking to me. Like Adam's gonna say something shitty, so I might as well just let him do it.
Yep. Let it get out. That's
Nice.
fine.
Well done. Well done.
It's good that we know each other so well, Max. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why I got these distractions. Hey, JP, someone just popped a long resub in your chat. Ho, ho, ho.
There you go. 45. Appreciate it, Max. Speaking
That's
of,
what we call yes and.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Max, what about you? Besides the Red Dead, besides the Fallout 76, anything else you've been up to the past 3 weeks, I guess? 4 weeks?
I got 2 words for you, unless it's spelled one word. Also Red Dead related.
That's the best Max thing. I got 2 words for you unless it's spelled in one.
It'll make sense in a second. Pretty sure it's 2. Okay. Jaw harp. Pretty sure it's 2.
That might be a dash, jaw dash harp.
Look how weird this thing looks, like an energy
It's
sword.
also called the juice harp.
Doesn't that look like a fucking energy sword from Halo?
It does look like a Halo energy sword. Yeah. The mouth harp, the Ozark harp, the Guimbard, which sounds like a.
Yep.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you guys here in the call here, without looking at chat, what famous cartoon character played that instrument all the time?
Oh.
Is this like an old timey cartoon character nobody
it
cares
the
about
big
anymore?
rooster?
You all
Is
know
that the
him.
big rooster? Yeah.
Don't look at chat.
I'm saying the
said
big
Foghorn
rooster.
Leghorn.
I think that's the big rooster.
Foghorn? Nope. Not Foghorn.
Which I feel
Leghorn.
like it's a little too on the nose. I just said that because it's like how he is, you know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not looking
I
at
have no
chat.
idea.
Snoopy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Snoopy
Oh,
would play the
yeah.
juice harp. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you cut your lip with that?
Wow.
So I've been playing this on stream for
Snoopy.
funds, you know, since I bought it. And everyone keeps saying, like, you're going to shatter your teeth. You're going to fuck up your mouth. It's like, I know
what?
that you can do it, but I'm pretty sure it's just if you play it improperly. If you like have it loose on your teeth or something like that. Because they can. Yeah, I've heard that before. I don't know about cutting your teeth. I don't know how the fuck you cut yourself, but.
Wait, why would that play it again? How do you show us
Well,
how
it's a
you
little
can-
piece of metal and it has like a
play it.
vibrating piece, so you can bang it
Yeah,
on your
you-
teeth,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, you're supposed to like rest it right underneath your teeth like that. And the way that you flick this little dangly bit here, and that reverberates
It's like it too
inside
hard,
of
it
here,
could-
and then it
yeah.
uses your mouth as kind of like a chamber, like a resonance chamber, you know what I mean, kind of thing,
Oh.
to amplify the sound of it. And then the way you get like the that's my tongue like going back and forth. Like the more forward you go, the higher pitch it gets, and the more back your tongue is, the lower it gets.
Can your
And if
tongue
you wanna
get
do it
stuck
even
in
lower,
that
it's like,
sometimes?
oh,
Is that the harm?
No,
You're not supposed
My
to
tongue
make out
stays
with the
in my
thing.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand how people think that they would like break your teeth. Like,
No, I don't.
I think if
it's
you
just
pull
people
if you
are
pull
playing
the if you pull the thing too hard and you have it too far back in your mouth, it might you could probably bang it on your teeth. But like
yeah. I think if you just fuck up how you're playing it, I watched a video.
Yeah.
I watched a video on how to play it because I was like, I have no idea how the fuck to play this thing. Like, and it's
I watched this video where a guy fucked up his face on this thing, and man, it was intense.
yeah.
You know what's kind of cool about it though is that you can kind of do like this when you play it normally and just let it do its thing and boing, that's fine. It sounds cool, but you can change the sound by just breathing on it. So listen to normal, and now when you change it.
Oh, okay.
You sound like a cool robot.
Great.
Are you in Daft
and then you can
Punk
also,
now?
you can kind of do like you can Peter Frampton it if you like say it's obviously hard to say words, but
Yeah.
Nice. It's an old school vocal.
Anyways, that's enough of the jaw harp. We've
Around
wasted
the
that.
world.
All right, that's what I've been up to.
Thanks,
Around
Max.
the
We'll see you in a couple weeks for more musical
I
Max's
love
moment.
music. Yeah. Yeah,
Very much
I
like
love
Bruce
musical
Almighty.
Max. Yeah, Max, how are you not playing a bard all the time? Like, how is this not a thing? You have all the instruments around you.
You can play a bard. You can do it.
Good.
You go into battle, and suddenly you hear.
Boing.
Go,
everyone, Christ.
go.
I love it.
Zeke, you playing the musical instruments recently?
Honestly, I've been around Twitch for far too long, because the first thing I want to say was, yeah, I dabble with the skin flute, of course. I try boop, 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 on the skin flute. No, I don't play any musical instruments.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's hard to play.
It's easy to pick up, difficult to master. I'll say.
I see.
Right, but when you're done, it's easy to put down.
Yeah.
You know what they say? You gotta take it slow at first, but you can play faster
I once
as you
saw
get
someone
into
play
it.
like 12 at the same time. It was crazy, like a one-man band.
Oh boy.
Anyway, no, nothing interesting is going on in my life except I'm gonna go hang out with my Burning Man friends in New York on Thursday, so I'll be gone for 5 days.
Nice. What is?
Is it like is it a regional, or are you just like hanging out?
No. It's just I'm just hanging out with a couple of selected people that I became kind of close with this time around, and we're gonna go to like Avenue Q. We're gonna get some. Avenue Q is like a adult puppet show musical thing, like a Broadway show.
Okay.
I fucking
It's really
love
good.
Sounds
I mean,
really,
they
it
talk
sounds
about
really
drugs
stupid,
and
but it's actually
racism.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it.
So it's
I saw it.
clever
It's
and
so
fun.
funny.
Yeah. And I'm gonna eat until my stomach explodes, like just good New York food.
Get some spinach pizza. You should find
Well,
that.
I know the best pizza place in New York.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
I'm
get-
not. This is not shitty New York pizza. This is spinach pizza. It's different. Go find that. It's great. It's the only thing I know about New York is spinach pizza at late night after all the clubs.
Spinach pizza?
Yep.
I'm not saying it would be bad. I'm just saying I've never known that to be like the. Are you sure that's not just like a specific you experience?
Nope.
Or
It's
is
a
that New
thing.
York known for spinach
It's a thing
pizza?
in New York. I know things, Max. Hashtag Mega Man Me. We got it trending. This is the next big thing. Hashtag spinach pizza.
See, I don't know if I can trust that, because I know you lived in New York for a while. You
I
worked
did.
in New York for a while.
Look,
Your routine sounded pretty much the same every single day. So I don't know how much you actually like explored the city and was like,
I'm Googling
which
it.
pizza place is good?
I'm gonna Google it.
Here
Here
it
we go.
is. Sorry, I forgot a keyword. Artichoke. Spinach artichoke pizza is the full thing. That's the thing right there.
There you go.
Yeah. It's
I've
good.
had that
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
That's good.
Anyways, forgot the key thing there.
Still don't know if it's a New York thing, but
You should. It's the only green thing
Listen.
I'll eat.
The thing
Spinach
is, in the pizza wars, it's difficult to trust Max because Max is from Chicago, which, as we know, is the diametric opposite to New York when it comes to pizza. So
true.
it's like,
but I don't subscribe to the whole like it's deep dish to nothing. Like I don't
okay,
do
good,
that.
good. You're a conscientious objector from the pizza wars.
I actually don't really eat a whole lot of deep dish because it's too fucking filling. It's delicious.
Well, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's a giant fucking like pie of meat and cheese and all sorts of stuff.
I love both, but one is a pizza and one is a casserole. Like they're not even close to being the same thing.
Like
I
pizza-
love like Lou Almont.
DiGiorno.
Lou Malnati.
I like it too.
I was gonna say
Every time I'm in Chicago,
if Lou Albano had a pizza place, I'd probably be into that too.
you got your beard and rubber band pizza. Go ahead and go get it. Here you go.
Come on, Luigi, we're gonna go get a pizza over here. Oh, Captain Lou, is he still alive?
But yeah, they're not the same thing. Those two
Luigi?
pizzas.
Yeah, he's still rocking with Mario.
Yeah.
Let's see, Captain Lou. No, I thought Luigi died. Didn't he die at the beginning of Smash?
Can you
He's dead
imagine
now, I
if
think.
Nintendo like actually killed off one of their characters like that? They would never would, obviously, but
Yeah, that goes
Coming
against
soon
the
from
ethos
Nintendo.
of Nintendo.
Luigi's funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just gonna have him die at the next Luigi's Haunted Mansion, and then he haunts everyone. That becomes his
he
legacy.
just turns into a ghost. Right? Yeah.
I'd play it. I'd play that game. Be good. Be good.
What was I saying? Oh,
I don't know.
pizza in Chicago though, it's still really good. Like regular pizza, thin crust pizza. We still have pretty damn good pizza.
It's all about that spinach artichoke pizza.
You're like, y'all don't know nothing about pizza.
You gotta go get
Is
it.
there artichokes on it? No, I don't want it.
Yep. There's also the reason that I remember this. There's also like this big hot dog place, but it's like a secret hot dog restaurant to where you literally open a door in a restaurant and it opens into another restaurant and all they serve is hot dogs late night. And it was fucking amazing. But I do not remember the name of it.
It's the exhibit of restaurants. Like, it's a kind of good restaurant with a way better restaurant inside it.
Yeah. See, someone in the chat says that place is great. So it obviously exists because chat just confirmed it. So if it doesn't, if you can't find it, Zeke.
And someone said, please don't tell. Is this supposed to be a secret? Yeah, see, look at that. They're tagging you again. Please don't tell.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it a secret?
The hot dog mafia is about to come and,
Like, I love that place.
Oh,
Please
no.
don't tell people about it.
Yeah.
Hot dog Yakuza. They're going to come get you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. They're going to get me.
No, I'm here for the
Yeah,
bathroom.
listen.
The bathroom here? Get out of here.
Sayonara. Yeah.
The
The Japanese word for hot dog is actually hato dagu, though. So there's a little bit of Japanese trivia for you.
Nice.
Hato dagu. Yeah, yeah. Just like it's right up there with like orange juice, suketo bordo. Yeah.
Miko
All actual
Donaldo.
valid. Yeah, Makudo Naruto. Yeah.
Yep.
Sandoichi.
That's the proper name.
Sounds good.
Bathroom.
Now we're just making.
No, bathroom is teirai. It's hand washing place. Is
Like
bathroom
I
in
said.
Japanese.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
have fun,
yes.
Zeke, in New York. Hope you have a
Oh,
lot of
it's
fun.
good.
Character, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. New York and then Japan this spring, coming this spring.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
Yeah,
got the Japan
dude.
thing. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I still
I
have.
am right because I'm writing it down right now, Zeke, because I know I promised to have a conversation with you about that. I'm writing it down. It's going to my
worry about
my
it.
calendar. I just keep forgetting.
Well, cool. I think it's time to see what the fuck is going on in our game because there were conversations that may or may not have occurred before today that somewhat outlined what today might look like, but a lot of that was like,
Yeah,
I
so,
don't know
like,
what it's gonna look
let's-
like.
Just like for no reason at all, let's just not bother with goals today. Let's just
Yeah.
Okay.
don't worry about those. We don't need where we're going. We don't need goals.
I agree.
So we'll just not
No.
we'll just not worry about that for now. So that'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll roll back a couple of minutes just to kind of Saturday morning cartoons this thing to remind everybody what happened. So the last thing that we saw prior to the end of the episode, in the aftermath of the battle with the young woman's guard, the mass amount of killing by bow shot and sword, the ambush more or less successful, unfortunately with a Jadara related casualty. You achieved your goal. You had captured this young woman. And so what we see kind of as we end our as we get our recap is Yoji, you're over by Jadara's body, and a little ways away from you we see Kalimat, we see the girl, and the girl is injured, right? She's been wounded by the magic of the bell of dark voices, and her wounds are closing. She's healing as we look on her, right? Her eyes are bloodshot and the blood is clearing up. The patches on her skin that are like necrotized, the like black and bruised flesh is clearing up and becoming lighter. And as she's healing, she's looking at Kalimat. Kalimat can't see this girl, but she's looking at him to like begging him to kill her. And so in secret, hidden away from Yoji, we see Kalimat draw the knife. We see the tooth of the night serpent, and we see him plunge it into the girl's chest. She whispers quietly with her last breath, a measure of thanks. She thanks Kalimat for what he has done, and falls away. And that's where we ended the last episode. So I think as all of this happens, Yoji, your indication that anything has happened, right? Because Kalimat is a master of stealth. Even blind, he's able to do things like this without you noticing.
I forgot that I felt that roll till just now, so I have no idea what's.
Yeah. So for you, the terrible occurrence that happens comes as a surprise. Kalimat, you don't see it, but what we see, the girl tumbles backwards. Are you still? So you've got your arm around her and you've stabbed her. Do you let go of the body, or are you still holding it?
I'm still holding it to make sure that she is passed.
Okay. So, like a balloon running out of air, the body begins to just deflate in your arms. You feel her bones go soft, her flesh become liquid. We see her bend over backwards at the spine and fold over your arm. Her eyes turn black, her mouth hangs open, and issuing from inside of her, a terrible black cloud begins to pour from her mouth. It starts to swirl around you. You feel the wind whipping at you. It pushes the cart back several inches, so you hear the squeak of the wheels on the ground. And soon you're holding this thin thing of skin, and you feel the wind buffeting at your face. Yoji, now you become aware of this storm that is brewing, and as you turn to look, a cloud of swirling air with lightning flickering in it is pouring up out of this body in Yoji's or in Kalimat's arms, and a storm is brewing, just like pouring out from it. You can see lightning flickering in the storm. You both have an opportunity to kind of do like one thing as the storm kind of explodes. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she's
body,
deflating.
Her skin is like not like she doesn't have bones and like mass. Her skin is just deflating.
Yeah. It's like if she's just like hollowing out as the air is running out of her. And yeah, Kalimat is holding this like limp piece of like person leather. Her eyes have like sunken in and vanished, so there's just empty sockets. Her skin is it's not like withering or like it's like healthy normal skin. There's just nothing in it. And it's got a hole in it where Kalimat has plunged this knife.
But I can't deduce that, right? Like I just see the hole.
Yeah, no, I think Kalimat like thrust the knife and drew it out, and there's no and also like there's a whirling storm kind of pouring forth.
It's a little bit more distracting.
More pressing. Yeah,
more pressing. Yeah.
I just kind of like over my shoulder to Yoji. What's happening?
I just respond, what did you do, Kalimat?
So Kalimat, you have to yell over the like the rushing and the crashing of thunder. It's like
so it is
loud and it's swirling. Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening?
Yeah, I think you just hear, what'd you do, Kalimat? I'm like rummaging through Jadar. Like I'm mid rummaging through Jadara's stuff at this point, and I just turn around and like, oh fuck. And so, in terms of action, is this still a corpse? This rock elemental thing?
No, it's just like crumble. Like there's chunks of stone on the ground. Yeah. Like if you want to take cover behind it, you probably could.
I will take cover. I'll grab Jadara's body and pull it back here behind this thing.
Okay, sure.
And that's what I do.
Kalimat, you feel the force of the storm like swirling in your face. What are you gonna do? Do you want to like stumble back? Do you run? Do you hold your ground?
Honestly, I think I just stay there with like, you know. I mean, there's not much else I can do. It's like I'm not going to outrun my fate. So I'm going to stay here and face it. Bring it. This is what I'm meant to be.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Got
Okay. All
10.
right. So the wind, we see your clothes being blown around. Flickers of lightning leap from the cloud and hit your skin. The storm is like swirling around you, tearing at your clothes. You're gonna lose some hit points. So you take 10 damage as the storm tears at you, but you hold your ground, and you see I guess you don't see, but we see in the cloud. We see first. The first indications that there's something more going on than just a storm cloud. We see two burning red eyes in the cloud. They start at first. It's maybe like we see a flicker of lightning, and maybe you think you're seeing them, and then we see these eyes in the cloud, and then a vaguely humanoid shape begins to take form. Broad, muscular shoulders, skin the color of a deep storm cloud, long white hair, two curling horns, and soon the cloud congeals and coalesces into a shape. And I will emerge it from the cloud here for you. So we see this enormous entity just swirl forth out of the cloud.
Oh, so it's not zoomed in. Is that big?
No. This is how big he
Okay.
actually is. Yeah.
Okay.
So for scale, he's like 35, 40 feet tall. And from his waist down, it's just storm cloud. And he appears from the cloud. He has a big sword on his belt, a sash, some jewelry. And he looks around and he like roars and he's shouting with. I'll make an insight check, both of you. There's
Dan,
this terrible like noise.
Dan, do you want to tell us about your new character here that we see on the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well-
let Dan play a god. So
I'm elemental god.
16, 12
okay,
for Kali.
yeah, 16 and 12. So the sound at first is frustration and rage, right? It's like roar, he's like angry about something, but as it continues, it turns to a sound of exaltation, of joy, the sound of like a person on a roller coaster, right? Like he's just shouting for the sake of shouting, and he like finishes this loud roar. There's a crash of thunder. The sky kind of rumbles in response, and we can see that like the sky has darkened around you. Maybe you can feel Kalimat rain on your face. And he finishes this and he takes a deep breath and he looks around and he sees the corpses and we can see him sort of sneering at all the bodies. And he looks down at Kalimat and he says, "Who the fuck are you?"
I am Kalimat. I am the chosen of the Night Serpent. If what I think has occurred, I have freed you from this shell with her tooth.
And he looks over the shed down at Yoji with like Jadara's body, because he can just see you looking down, right? His angle of view, he's tall enough that he can just look down. And he sees you, Yoji, and he's like, "You there! Come out from behind that shed."
Did I hear what Kali just said?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I will walk out kind of in the path here. I guess I can just move my character rather. I'll just walk out there. And I'm basically ignoring the god. Like I'm just dead staring at Kalimat after hearing that.
Yeah.
So I don't say anything when I like appear, although he
You
can
just
see
step
me
out.
regardless. But yeah. I mean, this
And
guy's
he-
like 100
he-
feet tall. Like, what are we?
He's like 40 feet. He's like 40 feet tall.
Okay,
It's like
so
4 stories.
He
give
can
or take.
definitely see over. Gotcha.
Yeah. And he looks down at you and he says, "What? No long title? No impressive accolades?"
No,
You just
not at
stare.
all. Who are you? I guess I'm screaming this like. Who are you?
Yeah, there's still. I mean, the thunder is kind of calmed down. It's only kind of loud, like the clouds kind of reverberate when he speaks. But like he's calmed the storm enough for you to hear him. And when you say that, he puts his hand on his chest. He's like, "What? You don't recognize me? I mean, this one has an excuse. He's got no eyes. But you must recognize who you see before you."
Can I make an Arcana check or history check?
You can make a religion check.
Religion check. Okay. That.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say DC for this guy, like DC 20.
5.
You have no fucking clue.
Okay. I'll be Yoji. What was his last words to me? He's like, you don't know who I am, basically.
Yeah, you don't recognize me. How could you not know who I am?
You look like another forgotten god to me. What are you doing here? Why were you inside that woman?
What? Forgotten? I can't believe that. You haven't heard of Big King Tao Ti before. You can make another roll.
Maybe
on
I
there if
have.
you want.
I'll
Kalimot.
check.
Yeah, you Kalimot. You can make a roll too.
Both religion?
17?
DC
No, I have
20.
a name, though.
No. Yeah, you know his name.
Oh, I got it.
Nice. So he's basically just said, and this is so weird. So he's just said like he's the boogeyman, basically. Like it's not real. He's a folk story. Big King Tao Ti is like the like if you don't behave yourself, Big King Tao Ti will come and eat your toes. Like it's the thing you tell kids. He's not real, and like your character, because we live in a fantastic universe where the gods are like real things. Like you know this to be like a fake thing. Like at some point in your age, you're told like that's not real. We just use that to scare you.
Okay, so he's basically the boogeyman that we thought didn't exist then, to surmise.
Yeah.
Okay, I just stand there and wait to see what the fuck he says. Like I can't run. I know that obviously, so I'm just like, all right, what's your deal?
And he says, your blind friend was right. You freed me. I've been in the form of that little girl for thousands of years. You have no idea how uncomfortable it is to be a teenager for that long. He like stretches his arms. It feels good to be free again. To smell the air. And he like reaches down and he takes a huge handful of dirt and he shoves it in his mouth to taste the earth. And there's like dirt tumbling down out of his face. And he says, to be alive. And when he laughs, the skies like rumble and crash.
And I shout up to him, hoping he can hear. Since it was I who freed you, may I ask a boon from you, good king?
And he looks down and he says, he's like, oh, I see how it is. We don't free old gods from their prisons just for fun anymore, do we? You wanted something from me. How dare you? And his eyes start to glow, and he reaches for his sword, and he says, I should cut you into 1,000 pieces, and eat those pieces, and shit you out in 1,000 corners of the world, and then make you crawl to put yourself back together. I should turn you inside out. I should smoke you. And he's like, just like unleashing this torrent of...
Yeah, I try to interrupt him. What if you did all that? Who would spread the word that you have returned? You are mighty, but you need followers. You need people to sing your songs and tell your stories. I'm not asking for anything for free. I will do that. But I ask that you give me back my eyes, if that is in your power to do.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 31.
So he looks down and he says, "You are well named, Dragonling. Silver tongue indeed. And you know the old bonds. I could no sooner roll you up and smoke you than I could kick down the doors to heaven. As much as I would hate it, there would be consequences, and I just got free of my punishment." Yes. Yes. I owe you and your taciturn friend a wish. You are not wrong. Come over here, quiet one. He's looking at you, Yoji.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll walk over to Jadara's body.
Just pictured him on his phone. He's like,
yeah.
Hang on.
Gods don't impress Yoji, I don't think. But he knows he's like he could test their patience. So I go over to Jadara's body and will. Can I look at his character sheet to just see what I can take off real quick?
Yeah. Is that okay, Dan? Can we just like?
That's fine.
Okay, all right. I'll just add JP to Yoji. There you go. All right. So while that's happening, he's like, "Come over here," and he just sits down on the house. He just like walks over here. Just has a seat. Just yeah, plots down on the house. Yeah. So he looks at you and he says, "It's fine. It's fine. Take your time. I know mortals usually take forever with these things." He just looks around, looks at the bodies. Just kind of is like marveling at the fact that he's free.
I'm going to take the rapier +1. I'm going to take the 700 gold. And then, Dan, a question for you. Do you want the attempt to be resurrected or not? Like at any point in time? Are you just good?
I'm good. And when you take that rapier, it's a special pact weapon with a demon, so it would fade away once I died.
Oh, so it's no longer on there? Okay. Well, then maybe I'm just like
struggling. So maybe
that.
I mean, you notice that the first thing you're like, oh, Jadar has that awesome sword, and you go reaching for it, and you're like, wait, where is it? It's gone. There's just an empty scabbard.
Yeah, I like mutter something under my breath like fucking Jadara, like always the same goddamn story. I take the gold, and then there was probably a conversation or something that we once had in terms of you like not wanting to ever be brought back to life by the cult.
If I die, never touch my stuff.
Yeah, or something like that. Does that work for you, Dan?
Yeah, like I believe in fate, and that if the gods willed me to die, then I would be dead.
Okay. I will take fuck, this is good. I have a knife. I just like cut Jadara's head off. That's like the only way to not
with a knife.
I don't have any other thing to do.
Wow.
I have a rapier,
Holy
but I can't
shit.
just stab it.
Cutting someone's head off with a knife would take a long time and be awful. But you know what? We've seen the way that Yoji handles bodies. You're an expert, so yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Look, if I had another weapon, I'd do it, but I only have.
If you had a rapier, you could just tap her neck and her head would fly off.
Well, I mean, that's the only way
for that.
That's the only way.
So you start doing this. You start like cutting Jara's head off, and while this is happening, Big King Tauti has reached down, grabbed one of the ox, and he bites it in half. Like blood and viscera like drip down out of his beard. And he's chewing on this ox, and he's watching, and he's like, "Wow, he's just cutting her head right off. Oh boy, you guys are a mess." And he takes a big swallow, and he's like thinking about the other ox, and he pats his belly and looks at the other ox and like rubs his chin, and he's like,
I just shout up while Yoji's doing his fucking dark business over there. Just shout up. Do you belong to a pantheon? Brothers, sisters, fathers, sons, daughters, anything?
He shakes his head and he says, "You haven't heard the story." Well, many years ago, at the dawn of creation, I came upon the earth in the darkness, and I was so attracted to it. Well, 9 months later, she burst open, and my children came forth. Have you ever seen an ogre before? Every ogre is my son. Good children, hungry babies.
Would I might be way off base. Ogres and orcs have no like lineage, right?
No, they're not connected in any way. They can interbreed,
okay.
but they're not. Yeah, they're not related.
Okay.
Adam, let me know when I've finished decapitating Jadara.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Okay. A 1.
Oh no!
It's gonna be really gruesome. It's gonna be real
It's
bad.
like
I'm sorry.
It's just like an hour of you just like sobbing and hacking away at her neck. Jesus.
Jesus.
So yeah, so Kalimad, he tells this story he's obviously very proud of, and he says, "So you haven't heard? Well, tell me, little blind man, when someone lives a wicked life, when they are cruel to their mother and father, when they cheat their brothers and sisters, when they lie and steal and fornicate, what happens to their soul when they die?
They return. Well, first they return to the wheel, and then they are punished in their next life. If they led a life that was not set out for them, they denied what fate had in store. They come back as something low, something terrible. That's the way it works now.
Reincarnation? Ah, bullshit. I had a better idea. Tell me, boy, have you ever heard of hell?
Yes, in fairy tales. And this is meant as no offense, but you have been imprisoned longer than 10 of my lifetimes. So a long time has passed for our kind without you being here. So things have changed and stories have become myth, and myth has become forgotten. But if you are here, then maybe you are meant to remind the world the way it should work, not the way it does work.
Make a performance check. I want to see if your sucking up is gonna go well or not.
I think like in the middle of that speech, the camera like goes over to this fucking brutal decapitation of Jadara.
Blood. You got a
and
handful of
Jadara's,
hair.
or I mean, sorry, Yoji just like rolls his eyes at what Kalimad to say to this god.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not lying to him.
No, I know.
No, totally.
I know.
You're playing it up. You're
Yeah.
you're doing what's appropriate for a god that you see this. So yeah, he squints at you and he says, I always thought my ambition was why they put me in that prison. I had a great idea. While they were off building their heaven, I made another place. I believe in tough love for humans. If you are a naughty boy, before you get a second chance, I get a crack at you. Or at least that's how it was supposed to be. I made the worst place I could imagine. A terrible place for the cleansing of souls. It kills me to think of it going unused. My beautiful hell covered in dust. And you see a single tear slide down his cheek and fall into his beard.
Did you rule alone?
He shakes his head. I never had a chance to rule. An empty hell. What a shame. He's getting all like sentimental. You seem like looking off into the distance thinking about hell and how it must be all like dusty and forgotten now and how cool it is going to be.
Were there others like you? Other gods, beings of power like yourself?
He nods and he says, of course, the world is made of gods. Before I was imprisoned, We had an argument about mortals and what to do with them. Some of the gods wanted to suck up. I didn't think so. Others chose to stay on Earth. Everything was just getting good when my friends fucked me over and made me into that thing. He points and he says, thousands and thousands of years of puberty. A worse torment I can't imagine.
Who imprisoned you? Can you name them?
He squints and he says a bunch of. Do you speak Celestial? Does anybody, you or Yoji, either of you speak that language?
Yoji does.
I do for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, if he starts speaking shit like that, I mean, oh fuck, never mind. I was gonna say I have tongues, but I don't have any spells right at the moment.
Yeah. So he says what Yoji you recognize as a lineage of like celestial titles.
Right.
More descriptive than they are naming, but he says a few things, and he says them with like bitterness in his mouth. And he says, "But if you don't know me, those names won't mean anything to you." And he squints, almost as if noticing you for the first time, Kalimat, and he says, "What are you?" He squints even harder and like leans in. And as he's leaning in, he's picking up the other ox corpse and like he bites its head off and chews on it for a second. And he like spits some blood on the ground. And he says, you look like a dragon had sex with a tavern maid. And he like squeezes the ox into his mouth and like throws its body away.
And you see like a smile like go across Kalimat's face. Not that far from the truth. I am descendant of dragons, it is true. Far descendant. Until I am a bit of an oddity. Up till this point, it was me and my family. And no one else of my kind. I might be unique in this world. In fact, that is part of my journey. I want to find.
Yeah, and he shakes his head and he just says one
ancient dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, he shakes his head and he just says, "Nope."
Nope. Well,
No, you're not unique. I mean, technically, yes, you're the only you, but no. There are more of you.
I knew it. I felt it. Where can I find more of my kind? No.
Is that?
No. I take it back.
We all see him grin. He grins and he's like starts leaning in like
back.
and he chuckles.
I want one thing and one thing alone. I will not ask any more of you.
He says, "Don't worry, little half-breed. That's not how it works. There are very specific ways you have to go about this. And if you don't mind," and he looks over at Yoji, which you can't see. He's like, "If you're about done."
Am I about done?
I think at this point, Yoji, yeah, you're about finished.
Okay. I'd probably like close my eyes and say something underneath my breath about Jadara. And then open them and just gruesome. You just see a decapitated Jadara with blood everywhere. And I'll take the arrow out of her, I guess back is where I'd hit her, right?
No, in the front, because he was holding her by her neck and her waist.
Okay. I'd take the arrow out of her gut then and clean it off, put it back. And then in Celestial, so he said Celestial, and I understood that, right? So I could...
Yeah, it's like an ancient form, but Celestial doesn't change that much.
Okay. And then in Celestial, I'll just say to him and start like walking towards him, like this way.
Okay.
And stand in front of him and look up at him and say, you said you'd give me something since we awoken you, right? This is in Celestial.
Yeah. So he turns and he looks at you and he says, in common, "Your accent is terrible."
Was Was that a yes?
But yes.
Okay, good.
He sighs and he says, "One more indignity for the king of hell. Yes, you freed me from my prison because of some rule some asshole god made up. This is how it works. Each of you granted one wish. My celestial purview is great and powerful, but if you want me to kill or torture anybody, I would really appreciate that. That would be my favorite thing to do. But otherwise, I can do just about anything you need, short of toppling heaven. Another god might get in the way."
All right. I want to be sent away, and I want to be forgotten about.
And he squints at you, and he's just like, "All right, done." And Yoji vanishes. Kalimat,
Jesus,
you've never...
what?
I didn't know this was going to
Kalimat,
happen, but I'm so about it.
Kalimat,
my God.
Yoji has everything that has ever happened that Yoji did directly reattributes itself in your mind to someone else that was adjacent. You never knew him. You've never met Yoji. He does not exist. He has never existed. No person on Earth. And I think like wherever like Berg and Ramus are, you both just forget Yoji completely. Like he just ceases to have ever existed in your mind.
I have a quick question. I just want to know how this works, because I have, like, on my character sheet there are drawings that Kalimat has done, and one of them is Yoji taking the arrow of God slaying from the vault. Like I drew it like him grabbing the arrow, whatever.
That page could be blank, or it's a drawing of someone else.
Okay.
It just like the entirety of the universe just like reorients itself to make up for this Yoji shaped hole.
Okay.
Yeah,
Holy
the cult
fuck.
forgets you. Everyone ever
Man,
on Earth forever.
This is
just
so much
gone.
better than what I originally had planned. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, Yoji has just never existed. We see Big King Tao Ti like blink as if he's like he just forgot what he was doing. Like he walked into a room to get something and now he's just looking around the room because he made himself forget you too, right? So he's just like, what was I doing? Right. Well, what can I do for you, little blind man?
Well, all I really want is my eyes. The rest, I leave to fate. I believe
And
you were sent
he says-
here to give me those.
I mean, you don't see him. He looks at you and he says, "That's it? You just want your eyes back?"
Yes?
He shrugs.
If you could make them
and,
better, like
And he shakes his head and he says,
wondrous eyes to see better with, I don't know.
And he just shakes his head and he's like, "Listen, you've got to be specific about this. That's how the magic works. So here's the thing. You say, 'Big King Tao Ti, I wish,' and then say the thing, and I'll do it."
Big King Tao Ti. I wish to have all the money in the universe. Bye. No. Okay.
I mean, you could try that. You could say that,
I
and
know.
that would be fine.
I know that was just for you in chat. Okay. So I have to take a minute to think about this, because if you were to fucking
Of
wish
course.
wrong, I'm gonna fuck you in the
Right.
ass.
So this is absolutely how this works. If you phrase it wrong, I will definitely like interpret it as literally as possible. So feel free to like poll your fellow players about what you should wish for. Take time, because this is serious. Big King Tao Ti has the ability to do just about anything that another god isn't like directly opposed to. So if you tell him like knock over heaven, he won't be able to do that, because there are more gods that will wish for him not to do it. But like killing somebody, bringing somebody back to life, fucking with the fabric of time space as it regards human souls, like all that stuff, he's like a big deal. He's just been stuck in a teenager body for a very long time. So
okay. So what if I like? What do you guys think? So you said I could pull the other players. Like, what do you guys think if I said something
go ahead and talk about it.
To the effect of, I wish to be optimally equipped to continue my quest.
Optimal's way too loose. That can mean so many different
Don't
things.
give Adam that freedom.
Yeah. He'd turn you into a fucking badger and be like, all right, here you go. Like, have fun.
Okay. So you have to be super specific. Okay.
Keep in mind, there's no perfect way to do this, but yes, like, because this hasn't come up in any of the campaigns that we've run together before. So wish as a spell is meant to be taken very literally. So if you had been like, I want my eyes back, I could be like, cool, he puts your eyeballs in your hand. Bye. And he's gone.
Yeah.
Because now you have your eyes. Right.
I would like to have my eyes back in the. You can even ask for enhanced eyes.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I would
That's like
wish-
part of the deal.
I would phrase it. I would wish I could have my sight back, and also have true sight.
Well, and that's the
I
thing.
feel
You
like-
can do like a
and-
run-on sentence.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
you
what
can't. It's
Yoji
gotta be.
did.
You gotta wish.
A little bit.
You gotta wish for one. Well, Yoji basically, like, your intent was clear, and I didn't nitpick on it because it wasn't like you weren't gonna continue, but you just
Sure.
wanted to not exist. You wanted to get away,
Yeah.
which is fine. But continuing, yeah, because it's a big change to your character. So
I mean, there's a lot of ways you could take it, Zeke. Obviously.
I wish to have my
Yeah,
sight
right.
back that can never be taken away.
I mean, you're going to get your eyes back potentially from the Night Serpent, so you could even go somewhere else with it too.
Right. That's another thing. Like that could be part of the deal. Like, did I met a dragon in a dream, right?
maybe a lot of things have happened to you.
Yes, that was a real dragon. Totally.
Oh, that's right. That was you pretending to be a dragon. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's where my mind flashed, but I didn't wanna say it. I was like, yeah.
Zeke, you can trust me not to intentionally try to twist it to screw you over, but also believe that I'm going to take you literally in a way that may not be exactly your intent. So that's the thing about wishes. You gotta phrase them in a right way, but I'm not going to just be like try to misinterpret it. I'm not going to like legalize you. I just want to I want to make sure we get it like nice and clear.
Okay.
In character, Big King Tao T is going to take what you say very literally, and he doesn't care if it's like screws you over or not.
Right. No, honestly, it's there's things going through my head like
So mechanically,
I wish to be like
the game
a copy of you.
So if you look at your character sheet, we can change just about anything on it. We can change your stats, we can change your race, we can change your class. You can gain levels, you could lose levels, I guess. You could gain magic items. You could like there's all kinds of shit you could change.
Right. And then when you're put on the spot like this, like
I know, right? And I couldn't warn you in advance. So
of course not.
But obviously, Kalimat can't ask for mechanical stuff. But you can, as a player, you can change things on your sheet.
I can totally fuck the adventure and just be like, I wish to turn back time to the time an hour before I lost my eyes. Like, I just rewind.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could. Yoji wouldn't be there. Jadara would be alive. But yeah, I mean, it's a significant thing, and this is why we're all going to have this conversation as people. Like,
yeah.
there'd be some like new.
I
person
honestly
instead of
think
Yoji.
like okay, okay. Let me just ask you a question, Adam. How much
Sure.
do you think? How much knowledge do you think I've accrued about dragons in my life?
I don't know. Make a history check with advantage
Okay.
to recall all your dragony knowledge.
Crit.
Oh shit!
Fucking awesome. You are among the leading experts about lore and stuff about dragons. Like when it comes to dragons, you would be hard pressed to find any mortal person who knows more than you do. You are a scholar and an expert
In all capacities, in terms of like what they did, where they exist, like in that
like
capacity.
you have a vast collection of lore about dragons.
Okay.
Some true, some false, but like I mean you've dedicated so much of your life to this. It makes sense that you would like have that.
So yeah, exactly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine like my lineage, like where like I came from dragon wise, like what like family tree of dragons I came from.
Okay, and most of these are like your parents' like stories, right? And your like your family, any family records, but like yours were a nomadic people, right? And so it was all like remembering stories you were told as a child, who your mother told you, and her father told her, and his father told him, going back to this idea of like you originally being born from the storm dragons, because all of your family have the same like storm dragon lineage, right?
Mm-hmm. So this okay, I'm gonna pass it by you guys. So this is kind of the wish I'm toying with, is to wish to be the dragon I would be if my blood was unmuddied, kind of a thing, like a pure dragon. If wasn't mixed with like other races and stuff like that.
I guess the question for Adam, and maybe he doesn't want to answer this, is that a playable character? Does he have a human form?
But that's the thing. Like,
I mean,
that might be what he truly wants.
Yeah, if you want to make your wish, I want to be a dragon, then cool. That can be your wish.
I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. That's on you though. If it goes with you making a new character, but it would like complete the character in a sense, because that's what he's always wanted.
Well, I feel so alone though, like because everybody else is dead. I have no connection to anybody who's coming
Because
in.
you are alone.
Yeah, you came here with Shadrach and Jadara, and then Jadara and Shadrach got in a big fight, and Shadrach ran away, and then Jadara got killed by one of the people you were fighting, and now you're blind and alone, and the King of Hell is waiting for you to make a wish. So you are alone. You're very alone.
From the forest, like shadows, Shadrach peeks out. I changed my mind. I thought, holy shit!
What? Okay, something like.
This is the great thing about wishes, right? Is that like you, like your character, it's about finding the thing your character cares about most deeply and like cannot resist but to ask for. And so you have to dig all the way through all of the top layer bullshit of what you're trying to accomplish now down to like, why do you do all the things that you do? Like why is this your life? Right. So it does mean you have to kind of peel the character apart a little bit.
I love that
And
this big decision too rests
deep.
on you yet again.
Yeah. No, that's deep down. That's what he wants the most. Is he wants to be the dragon that he feels he should be. He wants to connect with that. He wants to be that. There's a hunger for heritage and power and destiny, shit like that. And this is the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Personally, my opinion is, I think that makes sense for Kalimon.
Yeah.
To go for that, because that's what he's been striving for. That's what his goal has been. That's what his motivation has been, to connect with his roots, his ancestry, and become the truest form of what it means to be a dragon. Like that's always what you circled back to. So it makes absolute sense to me.
So I will say stop there and just say I'm trying to make it as specific and simple as possible so it can't be fucked up. But
Yeah, and Big King Tao T, he's picking ox out of his teeth, and he's eyeballing the corpse of the driver. Like, how long has this person been dead? Should I eat them? I can't decide. Am I still hungry? So he's not even paying attention to you.
Big King Tao T.
What? You ready?
Yes. Big King Tao T. I wish to become the dragon of my dreams in physical form right here, right now.
He looks you up and down, like, you want to be a dragon, huh? Well, if I were a blind little stripling like you, I would want to be something bigger and better than I am. Good thing I'm already a god. He like cracks his knuckles. He's like, it's been a while, but yeah. Touty's still got it. And he holds his hands up and he blows into them, and you hear the like of thunder. And it like gets bigger, and then he opens his hands, and a bolt of lightning leaps from in between his hands and strikes you in the chest. You black out. You fall over. We see Kalimat tumble backwards with a smoking like burn on his chest. Your arms are all, or your clothes are all burned. There's just like smoke drifting off of you, and you just thump hit the ground, and you die. You are dead. However, we see like you fall down, and Tao T, he looks down at you, and he's like, wait for it. Come on. And he's just like staring at your corpse as you like lay there. And he gets up, and he like walks over, and he like knocks the shed over onto Jadara's body. He crouches down, he looks at the corpse, and he's like, come on. And he prods you with a finger. And he's like, shakes his head. He's like, come on, I did the thing. And he looks up at the storm, and the storm like rumbles. And he shakes his head, and he says, fine. And he reaches into the back of his mouth, and he like wiggles something, and we hear a crack, and he yanks out a tooth. Yanks out one of his teeth, and there's like blood dripping off of it. And he says, I made the sacrifice. And he throws it in the river. And his tooth lands in the river, and we see it sink to the bottom, and like fall into the silt. And Kalimat, we see you take a deep breath. Your body seizes up as the breath of a new life takes place inside you. And I think we cut to, like, the camera zooms in real close to your chest, and we cut to like shadow, this sort of metaphysical view of Kalimat. And we see your soul, the two parts of Kalimat's soul. And we see them kind of floating in this empty space, representing your kind of place in the universe. And then they start to flicker with lightning. And it's kind of like watching cells like splitting and merging. The two souls rotate and flicker with lightning. And after a third kind of burst of light, they merge together. We see your upper and lower souls fuse together. And then we cut back to your body, and it is starting to undergo a significant change. Your scales are flickering with lightning. You're kind of like shaking, and your flesh swiftly becomes incapable of holding your true form, and so your body like breaks away. It like crumbles like ancient wood, falling away to reveal inside an oblong silver object, about, I don't know, 3 feet tall by about 2.5 feet across. And he looks down at it, and he scoops it up, and he looks at it, and he says, well, and he sets, I think he takes it with him. He like tucks it under his arm, And he says, well, I guess I'll take care of you until this thing hatches. And then there's another like crash. There's another crash of thunder and lightning from the sky, and he shakes his head and he says, "Time to go back to heaven. I've got some faces to punch." And he snaps his fingers, and the clouds pour out in the shape of a staircase. And one step at a time, carrying the egg that will eventually become Kalimat, he ascends the stairs and disappears, leaving the landscape covered in blood, bodies laying everywhere, the ox cart knocked over, some crunched up ox, and Big King Tauti returns to heaven, and then the sky closes up and the sun comes back out. And we hear birds chirping and the wind blowing, and then I guess it just really fades out from there.
Is the mangled body of Jadara there too?
What's that?
Is the mangled body of Jadara there too?
Yeah, she's like crushed by a knocked over house, but
without her head,
yeah, headless body, just crushed by a house.
It's not often that a character gets like almost exactly their like end goal quest. It's like, I want to be a dragon. Okay. You start with the name. But also, how apropos is it that a god that is like controlling thunder and lightning, like my like elemental, connection.
Yep.
That he is like adopted me and I'm going to be like a god dragon, like detective duo. Like, let's go do some shit.
Yeah. I mean, he's a god, so he's capable of making like demigods, which dragons are. And he was like, well, that seems like a good plan, but you don't start a dragon halfway. Like, you have to plant the seed first. So like, yeah, you become the egg of the demigod dragon that eventually you will hatch to become. And I think like, it's more of like an epilogue thing, but yeah, like you're like a servant entity, a proper dragon. And however much of Kalimat remains is sort of going to be up to you. But yeah, you get your wish. You become the dragon that you always wanted to be.
Wow.
It just might take a while for you to hatch.
Well, yeah, it takes, it take a fucking long time, I bet. Like, I don't know, like the gestation period of dragons, but
yeah,
whatever, man. He got what he wanted. And also, like, that was just like people were saying in chat, and it is absolutely the truth. That was the weirdest TPK like I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of
like,
you
Yoji
vanished
just
forever.
blinked out of existence.
Well, so
Yoji's not
what's
dead.
interesting for what's interesting for Yoji is the thing here is like Yoji basically has. Like, it's kind of a boon and kind of a curse because it doesn't just mean everybody forgets you. It means no one will ever be able to remember you. Right. So Yoji is doomed to the rest of his, like, and Yoji's been around for a very long time, so maybe he can't die of old age, but he's basically just this like wandering ghost that no one can remember. Like, you walk into a room and murder someone and they'll be like, "Who stabbed that man? What happened?" Right? Like, he fell on the knife. That guy did it. Right? Like, you've been removed from fate's eye, and you have been obfuscated, and no one will ever be able to remember or know Yoji. He just simply walks the earth doing what he can do, but no one will ever remember you
or love you.
I mean, that was already fast. That was already fast. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, Rix.
What's fucked up about this is that if
unpersoned.
Yoji wants to get his revenge, right? Like, if Yoji wants to go and like kill his dad, he's gonna show up and be like, "Father, I've come to kill you," and he'll be like, "I have no son." Right? Like, you don't exist. Like, who are you crazy person? And then when you leave the room, he'll just be like, completely forget you were ever there. So in a way, like, it's crazy. You're protected. You're safe forever because no one will ever. You're free of any like attack on you because no one can remember you to be mad at what you do. But also, like, you'll never get that confrontation unless like that becomes Yoji's quest to like get a new like become a person again.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who like are Neo Game and Sandman fans. Like, I just imagine like the Book of Destiny and Destiny grabbing out like a big rubber eraser, just going,
Yeah.
just erasing him from the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Somewhere in the bureaucracy of heaven, like the jar that is meant to contain the soul of Yoji, long unused, right? Because the last time he was reincarnated was like 600 years ago or whatever. That jar just cracked and broke, right? It just tumbled off the shelf and shattered. And they're like, oh, whose jar was this? Never mind, throw it out, right? Like you're free of the machinations of the universe.
Great.
Just do your own thing.
It's better than I had wanted.
Good. I'm glad.
It worked out.
Sounds like a horrible life for Yoji. I hope he likes it.
He's probably into it.
So what are you guys doing today? Anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the next thing, because we have some because we didn't know this was the trick, is that we didn't know going in, and I won't talk about, because I know a fair bit about JP's next character, but we have some characters prepared, but going in we didn't know like how this was going to end. All I knew was that I was going to present them with a choice for a wish and then see what happened. Which for me means winging it. So in this case, we had Dan and JP. You were thinking about like Yoji probably would disembark regardless, right?
Yeah. That was the intent
You
for sure.
kind of make your way. So you and Max, all three of you made characters to sort of ready up in case this was like Kalimat wishes for his sight back, and then it becomes Kalimat's quest. But Kali went big, and now there's a dragon egg tucked under the arm of the King of Hell. Headed for heaven. So like if we want, I guess we could do a different thing, or we can go back and we can switch over for the next time to Berg and Ramus, and JP, you can change the character that you want, that you already made, like change some of that stuff or keep most of it. Like I liked a ton of it.
Yeah,
There's a ton of really good stuff there.
It was pretty imperative to like Kalimat as a character, so
It was a character. Yeah, it was a character that was built to have some connection to Kalimat. So you can either choose to sort of change some of that stuff. Yeah,
I honestly like.
Yeah. And then
Go ahead.
I was gonna just say for Max and Dan, like, I mean, you'll probably need characters again in the future, so it's not like wasted time. But
Listen, I'm okay with this because my character is not fully in fruition like Dan and JP. Like when they go into characters, I feel like they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. I always try to play something different every single time, and that's what I'm doing again. So I'm trying to figure it out. And we also were talking about like we didn't know where we were going to go with this episode. So yeah, I'm cool with whatever they want to do. If it means fully fleshing out a character now and doing it and winging it, I can do that. But if we want to go back to Berg and them, I ain't got no problem playing Berg.
My opinion is I'd love to be episode 100 with Ramus and Berg. I'd hate if we were on like 4 characters that are like new and like I'd want that episode 100 to be with Ramus and Berg. So I'm totally okay with going back to them and pushing down that lore.
Yeah. I mean that for me that makes more sense than doing like 8 episodes of a different thing.
Right, because then we're on a timeline and it's like, well, we got to wrap this up. We got 2 weeks left. How's this going to work?
Yeah, I do really like the idea of jumping back to Ramus and Berg and seeing where they're headed. I love that it'll be like Ramus and Berg and Yoji never existed. It'll be hard for us not to refer to that, I think, to just be like, hey, remember when we were with Kalimat and
Berg, because Berg kind of dumb anyway, so it's just like
yeah.
Who? What?
No one knows. So it's really kind of a non-issue. It's just we just don't ever talk about Yoji because he never existed.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to apologize to Dan, Max, and JP for rolling up these characters. Like,
oh no, I don't
listen, Zeke.
I don't mind.
You're operating under the assumption that I actually fully created a character.
Yeah. I think me and Dan enjoy just making characters to begin with. So like it's not a.
Me too.
I'm not upset whatsoever.
I'm super looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
I will just say this. I'll say this for anybody who needs to make a character, JP especially, because I know you're always looking for new characters. There's a new D&D book coming out on Friday that has elephant men and centaurs. So if you want to play an elephant man or a centaur,
elephant man,
new options.
They're
elephant man.
Hey guys, I'm Elephant Man.
Listen, you played a turtle man. I'm just saying. If you're looking for new shit to play,
going? I'll just talk like that for the next fucking
Elcor. Basically just be an Elcor.
I'm an elephant.
Every now and then do a little
Yeah. So that's an option. It's got there's some other new like subclass options in it. It's coming out on Friday. So if you did want to make a new character, you'll have some additional options there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we jump back. So Ramus and Berg, just to kind of get a general idea, like where would the two of you have gone? Like what, just so that these guys can make characters and we can kind of talk a little bit about what that might look like.
Yeah, any backstory you guys want to like, or not backstory, but story you want to put out there
like,
would help me tie stuff in.
Because I know that Ramus. So when last we saw you had parted ways with Yoji.
What the fuck we were up to last time.
Yeah, when last we saw you, you parted ways with Yoji and Kalimat to go and pursue your own quest. Berg had become Berg, Hammer of Heaven, who a divine barbarian, empowered by the gods, to cleanse the earth of evil. So you become paladin, sort of like angry paladin Berg. So you have this kind of general mandate to like serve heaven's will, but they're not like giving you orders. And then Ramus, you are slowly dying of your soul wasting disease.
Right. Yeah.
And like when we come back, we're gonna advance that a little bit. So when we see Ramus, he will not be the handsome boy that we were used to. He'll be slowly disintegrating. And I imagine that this would be the like quest to prevent Ramus from like melting away into nothing, right? Like zombie Ramus.
I would think so.
So there are a couple angles on that, right? Like, you know enough, I think, to know that your soul, you want to get it back, but it's in heaven. So there's the kind of like find a way to get into heaven angle. But there's also, you could get help from Agni and her pops. So you could be pursuing the fire cult. What do you guys think?
That's probably where Berg would try to go. 'Cause other than that, I'm not sure. Other than trying to maybe directly commune with heaven, being, kind of like the hammer of heaven.
So yeah, in that, the quest basically in that case would be like, find a place where you can go that'll either like be a gate to heaven or that you can get heaven's attention, like some kind of like very powerful, very ancient temple to the Arcana, and try to like get heaven's attention so they'll let you in to argue for Ramus's soul. The fire bit, the like Agni thing, I mean that can take place anywhere because the cult of Imix is kind of all over the place.
Yeah. I think Berg would probably try to pursue Agni. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I just so I can get like a start on this, and I can kind of like put together a character while we're doing it. I just want to do like my 6 like stat rolls.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, hey everybody, stop for a second. I'm gonna make my rolls, and maybe they'll be terrible.
No, I mean, I want the like, this is for alacrity, for speeding things along, so I'm not like lagging behind.
No.
Sure.
Nobody's gonna say no to seeing live stat rolls. I think everybody pretty much likes that.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Nice.
8.
Started
Good
out
one.
good.
Good start. Good start.
Solid start.
14.
Yeah. Okay.
15.
Okay.
Well, they keep going up. Here we go.
10.
No.
We're almost
You want-
standard array at this point.
Uh-oh.
This is literal
Big one.
standard.
Now you just need a 9.
Big
You
money.
just need to
12.
get a 9.
Wow.
Another 8.
Standard, basically.
You're fine.
A little low, I
Yep.
think.
So close to standard.
Yeah, I think so.
Could have been worse.
Okay,
Could have been Berg.
so like themes in the next thing, I think kind of like, I imagine the next arc will at least start off Ramus focused, right? This will be like Berg helping his friend Ramus accomplish his goal. So Dan,
Yeah, that makes sense.
what are you interested in? What are you most interested in doing? What do you think that Ramus would do to try to make good?
I think Ramus would be first pursuing the cult of Ignis to try to get help from him first, since
Okay.
he has a direct connection to Ignis through Agni, wherein he doesn't have a
Yeah,
direct connection
Agni,
to
and then her
heaven.
dad is Imix, and then their
Imix, there it is.
younger sibling is, I can't remember what we named him, the brother that's like captured by the gnomes. Okay, so pursue the fire cult. Cool. So we'll get to see like, I need to come up with a cool name for them. but we'll get to see like the children of Imix, and how they work. And they're like a secret society that worships an element, right? They don't worship necessarily like a primordial god, but they believe in like the cleansing fire of Imix as like an object. So like fire druids and stuff. So okay, cool. So we can just kind of set that wherever. We've seen lots of desert. There's tons and tons of like court of coins still to explore. Are we interested in like a rural environment, an urban environment? Do we want to go back to the jungles of the Court of Swords? Do we want to go and like seek out the Children of Mimics in the Court of Cups? Like, do we want to go out to the islands?
Let me.
What do you guys
Was
think?
Berg's stats always this horrible? Like in
Yeah,
wisdom
dude,
and in
Berg
charisma?
sucks.
Were they 6 in wisdom and in charisma always?
Yes,
Yeah.
dude, he's incredibly dumb
Yeah.
and not charismatic. And do you
It's
not
so
remember
bad.
that character creation? Yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah, no, I do remember. I remember his intelligence and something else was bad, but
Listen, man,
holy fuck.
tough
It's just
and-
been a
he's
while
tough
since I
and
played
cool.
Berg, so I looked at his stats, I'm like,
I mean,
oh god, these are horrible.
the only mistakes here would be ones that you made on your character sheet, because that's where it's. I didn't make these. This is just pulling straight from your character
Yeah,
sheet.
no, I'm trying to remember if there was any sort of like effects or anything that made his shit worse. But I don't know. The only way to know would be to go back to that episode when I rolled my stats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your stats have changed because you gained levels since then. But yeah, everybody's making level 10 characters because we've got that. We hit that level. If Berg and Ramus, what level are they right now?
10.
Okay, they are 10. Good.
Yeah.
I
I
just wanna
think
make sure. I
Ramus
would've
is
bumped
pretty
you up
close to 11 or something like that, if I recall correctly. But
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, where are you guys interested in going in the world? Like what kind of setting? And this is a question for everybody, right? Because the Cult of Imix can be anywhere. We can set this in any part of the world. We could do something new. We could return to a place we've seen before that has changed. What do you guys think?
I mean, that's up to, I think, Max and Dan, honestly.
My thought is for the people who are making new characters, don't make anyone that's too closely connected to the Cult of Imix already. Like I want that to be a bit distant from the players. So you can be someone who like is a wizard that specializes in fire magic, who knows about the cult, or about the Children of Imix, but don't be like, I'm an Imix cultist, because that's just like, cool, where are your friends? They're over here, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you all to be seeking, and it would help if you had either like a connection to, I want you to have a connection to the party or to their quest. So like you're seeking out the King of Fire for your own reason, or you're connected to Ramus or Berg by some other reason.
Yep.
Like if somebody played in Azamar, you could be like sent to like assist Berg, or like be someone that knows one of Berg's heavenly allies.
Adam, I want to go to the Court of Swords. I'm just kidding.
I think since
we're coming up on episode 100, so
I think since Ramus is from the Court of Swords, like he's heard rumors about these cults, and that's where he would think the only places that he knows of to look for them, because he's heard rumors from the monastery about these cults and how they had to like break up these meetings and stuff from way back when.
I like it.
God, it's gonna be so fucked up there.
Yeah, and then we can like
100 episodes. Like it's been like 15 or 16 years since the last time we were there. So yeah, well we can return to the jungles where the Necromancer King has risen from the great spectral tragedy of the first few episodes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So that'll be a thing. Cool. I like it. So yeah, the current situation for anybody who wants to make a character who is from the Court of Swords. So the situation in the Court of Swords right now is like they're over the last like decade and a half, the court has come under internal strife. At first, it was ghost stories from the Riverlands saying like, I buried my wife and she came back to life and killed my dog. These little like scraps of stories and rumor. And then eventually the tale that all of these things were connected, some related force was at play. And I think at this point, the forces of the Necromancer King are like known. Like there is a force powered by the Mara in the deep swamps, the jungle land. They have a fortress of darkness, and they can bring the dead back to life. And they ride around on their spectral goats, murdering and pillaging and attacking fortresses of the Court of Swords. Their goal seems not to be robbery or theft. These aren't mere bandits. These are marauders from hell, and their only goal is the destruction of mankind. And so they've been just like murdering and killing and raising their army of the undead against people. And the Court of Swords is like desperately fighting to stay alive. And they've been sending diplomats to beg the other courts for help. But the other courts have either been like, yeah, you're just making this up so that you can trick us, because their nearest neighbor, the Court of Coins, or the Court of Coins, doesn't like them. The Court of Swords and the Court of Coins hate each other. They have an uneasy peace, but their whole border has always been very tense. And so they have this big standing army that they're like, no, we're not going to help you because you were dicks to us 6,000 years ago, and we don't like you. They went to the Court of Wands to ask for help. But the Court of Wands was like, we have our own problem. Our capital just exploded. So we're gonna be dealing with that. We can't really help you. The Court of Cups don't really have an army. They have like a bunch of boats and stuff, but they don't have anyone to send to help. So things are slowly kind of like falling apart. The Court of Swords isn't like one big mass grave yet, but the Wilderlands are incredibly dangerous. People don't travel. All of the villages over the last 10 or so years have become fortresses, and it is a land of fear and terror and scary undead. But in those kinds of places, that's where these kind of fringe religions start to spring up, and so these things have started to happen. So Ramus, like things are bad there, but it's also a great place for you to start searching, because you know it better than any other place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the situation. So you could play a character who is like, it'd be cool if you were both from the Court of Swords. So you could play like a soldier in the Court of Swords army.
Are there mountains?
Whose like unit was killed
in the Court of Swords? Are there mountains there?
Yeah. So there's the mountain range that Baron came from, because there's basically the two big like groups of people, the two big kind of cultures in the Court of Swords are humans and dwarves. They're dwarven allies. If somebody does want to play an elephant man, they are also from the Court of Swords. They're like sacred there because elephants are. So they tend to be like priests or temple guardians. So they're like clerics. Elephant Man Paladin would be appropriate too. They serve the gods there. You can be any race. There are more half elves in the Court of Swords, though they're not known as such. More half elves in the Court of Swords than anywhere else, because that's the first place that the Farang kind of like probed many years ago when they started coming and messing around. Lots of cool options.
All right.
Lots of cool options.
I have a good idea
of the situation
of what I'll do in terms of tweaking the story a little bit.
Okay.
I was gonna
say,
you
think you're just gonna adjust your current character's background.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say what the background was going to be, but I'll just save that in case it ever.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to. Yeah, you can let me know and keep that stuff on the DL.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a barbarian and a cleric, and then do you guys want to share what, just so that like Zeke doesn't make the same like class as you? Do you want to share?
Yeah,
class,
I'm playing
maybe?
a fighter. Zeke.
Okay.
Oh, I want to be an
Fighter too,
elephant.
if you want. Yeah, go for it. It doesn't really matter.
Elephant gets +1 wisdom, so you could go paladin.
Well, I gotta wait for the book to come out, right? So
The stats are out there on D&D Beyond for the characters.
Well, they are.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I can't remember what stuff has been made public or not, so I can't comment. But if you can
all
find it on the
public
internet,
yeah, it's all public. Like ability score increase. They stand between 7 and 8 feet tall.
they're called Loxodon.
They're called Loxodons. Yeah, 30 feet.
Right.
I'll find the link for you.
You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. You have natural AC
hang on,
of 13
JP.
plus dex.
JP, the thing you're looking at is a playtest version of it.
Oh,
that might not be
shit.
the same as
Okay.
the final
Fuck, you're
book.
right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
So that might not be the finished one. So we'll check in, I guess, Zeke, on Friday when it's like officially out and I'm not buried under an NDA.
Yeah, you bet.
But
That's the
yeah, you can play a
art
Loxodon
for
if you
them.
want to.
They look fucking sick.
Yeah. So Loxodon in Court of Swords are they're considered like a sacred people. They're not that many of them, but they're not like if you saw one, it would probably be like the one you saw like all year. They're around, but they mostly are found in like these ancient jungle temples. They are ascetics. They're servants of the gods. Appropriate classes would be monk. Actually, a monk Loxodon would be because it's a wisdom bonus, right?
Yeah.
So Loxodon, you could
That's
monks.
what I was thinking too.
Pally's would be good
Monks, paladins, and if you were looking at doing something less fightery, because we have a barbarian and a fighter, a monk might be a good choice because it's like a little stealthy, a little. Yeah. So those are some
A stealth
options,
elephant?
certainly. Yeah. The elephant in the room, Zeke. Everyone will ignore you.
too. Yeah, it'll be great. Also, Adam, can we just
That's thinking.
let's make it a rule, Adam, that from now on,
Mm-hmm.
just at random points throughout the campaign, you can just be like, yeah, a weird black robed man just walks in, grabs something, and then you forget about it. So let's move on.
Forget all about him. Yeah. Every time you misplace your keys, Yoji did it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so Yoji, what do you do? I just find people to harass and just steal their stuff, move their things around.
I'm following
You know,
my
they go to
friend
bed and
Calimont, who, or I guess Calimont doesn't exist anymore, in a sense.
Yeah.
Can't follow
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I'm thinking drunken master elephant monk.
Oh man, like a monk that.
cool.
So you can go one of two ways with the drunken master, right? It could be like a former ascetic who gave up or like failed, who was like, I can't, I just love drink too much. Or you could be a servant of an arcana, like of the lovers or something, where you're just like living that life, getting drunk all the time, hanging out, punching people. It's great. Like you're like a
Like a
gourmand.
Dionysus kind of a
Yeah,
follower.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an option.
Well, cool. Let's do some shout outs and I guess call it an episode. And we'll go
Yeah,
from
because
there.
like we got to do character creation and I got to do prep
Yeah,
and
there's a
like
whole lot of
build
stuff
all
to
this
kinda-
shit now.
And
So.
I don't think we want to half-ass
Yeah.
returning back to
Yeah.
Berg and all that.
Oh, I love it. I'm excited.
So am I.
I'm like looking at my schedule. When am I going to find time to do this? Yeah, cool. Awesome.
All right, Zeke.
Exciting.
We will start with you then for the shout outs, sir. Go ahead.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I kind of speechless at the end of this episode. Like when you give somebody a wish, like shit changes. So thank you guys for coming out every week. You can find me at Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Ezekiel_III. Thank you to Dan, Max, and JP for making this the best, and Adam, of course, for making this the best part of my week every week. Come on back next time. Maybe we'll have an elephant dude who's fond of the drink. We'll see. But I'll be leaving for New York City to hang out with my Burning Man friends from the 8th till the 12th. So look for my pictures on Twitter. I'm sure I'll take a lot of them. And then I'll be back on Tuesday.
Cool. Dan, and I guess also Max, thanks for sitting in on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dan, you want to
Me
do
and
some...
Dan really added a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Dan, you want to do some shout outs for us?
Sure. I'm DansGaming. Thanks for having me on the show today. I had made a great contribution. I'll be
MVP. Dan MVP for sure.
I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. Currently not sure what I'm playing until next week when like a bunch of games come out all at once.
Yeah.
Including Hitman and a bunch of others.
Yep.
But thanks for having me on the show. A lot of fun. I can't wait to bring back Ramus for next time. It's gonna be fun to dust off the old character, see what he's been up to. If he's gonna be like half dead, but it'll be interesting to play a dying character. And I can't wait until our next show.
Awesome stuff. Mr. GassyMexican, some shout outs, sir.
What's up? I'm GassyMexican. You can find me on pretty much everything under GassyMexican. Riding Caster as well. I've been playing our way through Red Dead 2, a little bit of Fallout 76 beta and all that stuff as it's been going on. Tonight I'm gonna play some more of the Walking Dead, Overkill's Walking Dead game. Do that for a little bit. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my contribution to the show. Crazy stuff that happened, but I mean, it's fun when I get the chance to just watch and listen, especially with what happened today. Jesus. So we'll see. I'm excited to go back to Berg as well and return back to kind of some familiarity and also the Court of Swords. It'll be cool because it's the name of the show. That's it. That's all I got. Bye.
Last but not least, Adam, some shout outs.
It's me. I would love to. Thanks for coming, everybody. It's nice that we're able to be flexible and not have to try to like, cool, we'll spend 2 hours like not knowing what to do with our characters. So it's fun just doing these like little weird sessions. And we knew JP and I had talked about for ages, like it's gonna be a weird one. Let's just wing it and see what happens. I'm glad that the players all seem happy with their just rewards. And if you think that this is the last we're gonna see of like Great Thunder Dragon Kalimat Alfida, you are mistaken. I'll see you again in episode like 180, and then we'll talk. I'm really excited about what's to come. I'll do my GM prep. You can look at my event schedule. It's all over on my Twitch page. So twitch.tv/Adam Coble. And I'll tweet about it on Twitter at skinnyghost. I'm going to go and set up the Q&A thread, and you can let me know what you want to know about Big King Tao T. He was the focus of all of my GM prep that ended up in the zine this year. So if you want to see what I knew going into episode 92, the roleplay zine is available to Patreons of a certain level over at patreon.com/roleplay. So check that out while you're at it.
Cool. I guess we're going to go do a post show a little bit. And just continue talking about this stuff.
Talk shit for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Zeke, people are asking, are you going to stream character creation tonight? Or are you going to wait till you get back till after the elephant stuff comes back? Like where are you at on that? Just so people know.
I really don't know how much of it I can do.
Yeah, because the elephant stuff's not out.
Because of the rule book.
Right.
But I definitely, since this is a new thing, I definitely want to test those waters and
Cool.
Zeke, if you want to do like we did with Kalimat, if you want to do a stream, let me know and we'll schedule something. I'll pop over to your house and we'll hang out and we'll make a character for you.
Yeah.
Sounds great. That's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Are we on for next week or are we skipping next week?
Well, Max is gone next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone. It's up to you guys if you think you can make it work without Berg. I'm fine if you guys want to do that. I have a pre-planned actual vacation that I'm going on.
We've done that before in the sense where I think the two of us met Ramus first, and then the next week we went and found Berg. So that's really up to.
I think you guys could make it work if Adam thinks it makes sense. I have no problem with it.
It's a fresh beginning, so we can start up however we want.
Yeah.
The sooner I know what kind of character. I mean, I guess I don't need to worry about you because you're Berg. So yeah, Berg can be like, I don't know, taking meetings in heaven or whatever. But we can start with like Ramus and his new friends. Or we can do like
from where we left off.
Get to meet everybody episode.
I think it's perfectly wide open where that would still make sense.
Completely. So yeah, if we wanted to play, I'm down if you guys want to.
Same. Yeah.
I'd be sad missing the show, but it's it is what it is. I got no problems with it.
As friends, yes.
Cool. Well, we'll decide 100% and let you guys know. Probably gonna have a show, but we might not. We'll just figure it out and let you guys know. But that's it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it was so short. But we will be back with more Court of Swords, undeniably, in the future. So we'll see you guys then. We're going to record that post show. Patreon.com/roleplay if you want to watch it later. Bye.